This review will be on our budgets that we did. So to start out with, I had told you about your paycheck and how did you calculate your paycheck. Well, in this example, if we look up here, then you can see that this person worked 40, excuse me. You can see that this person worked 40 hours a week and he made $8 an hour. So that's what the 8 stood for, $8 an hour, 40 hours a week. A budget is always for 1 month's worth of time. And we're going to say that generally there are 4 weeks in a month. So that is why to calculate this paycheck, you were given the number of hours worked a week and you were given the rate of pay, $8 an hour. So to create a formula, equal 8 times 40 times 4. And the multiplication is the shift of the number 8 key, the star. And that's how Excel came up with $1,280. Fixed expenses. You have two kinds of expenses, fixed and flexible. What are fixed? So we talked about fixed expenses are those expenses. If you don't pay them, they will take them away or turn them off. So if you don't make your rent payment, you get evicted. If you don't pay your cable bill or your phone bill, they'll turn it off. If you don't make your car payment, they'll take it away. So these are items that you have every single month that you will always have, and they're relatively the same amount of money. So to figure my total fixed expenses then, so the types of fixed expenses examples would be rent, phone, cable, utilities, your car payment, and savings. So to figure your total fixed expenses, it's equal sign. Every formula begins with the equal sign. And we're just going to add these all up. They're in column B7 through B12. So I can say equal. I'm going to go over to my formula bar here. Sum, because I want to add them up. Sum. And then what is the very first one? It is in cell B7. So I'll type B7. I'm going to erase this so I can just type it again. B7 colon the 2 dots. And then the last savings is in cell B12. So that's the last one I want my computer to look at. B12. And then click OK. That is my formula for fixed expenses. So if I look up here, equals sum, B7 colon B12. The next question is asking left to spend on flexible expenses. Well, flexible expenses are those expenses that you have, but you have to pay your fixed expenses first. What's left over you have for flexibles. And examples of those would be groceries, gasoline, miscellaneous, that type of thing. So how much money do I have left to spend on these things after I've paid my fixed? Well, so I know my paycheck is in cell B4, so it'll be equal B4 minus, and I have in cell B14 the sum of all my fixed expenses, so it'll be B14. And then when I click inside, so I have $395 to spend on flexibles. How did I know that? Well, I knew my paycheck was $1,280. I knew I had all of these expenses to pay for, and they added up to $885. So what do I have left after I've paid all of these? Well, when I subtract the two, B4 minus B14, I have $395 left. So there's the formula, B4 minus B14. Now flexibles, I see I have groceries for $200. I have gasoline for $80. And I don't know how much, and you had an unknown. How much do you have to spend on miscellaneous? Well, here's what I do know. So here's your unknown. You had $395 in flexibles to spend. You've already spent $200 on groceries, $80 on gasoline. So how am I going to figure out how much I have left over that I can spend on miscellaneous? So it's equal B16, because I'm going to take $395 and I'm going to subtract the groceries. So B20, because I've spent $200 on groceries, minus, I'm going to subtract the gasoline, B21, because I've already spent $80. So I'm saying that I'm going to spend, and there's the formula for $115. I said equal B16 minus B20 minus B21, $115. My total flexible expenses, well, I'm going to add up. My flexible expenses are groceries, gas, and miscellaneous. So equal B20 plus B21 plus B22. And I hit enter. The other way you can do that is equal. We'll come back up here to the sum again, and it will be B20 colon B22, and we should still get $395. Whoops, I put it in the wrong one. Okay, I should have been right here, but that's exactly how you have. Let's just do it again. So I'll take this one, I'll say and I'll get rid of this formula that I did earlier. The other way would be equal sign, sum, and we'll do it again, B20 colon, oops, B22, and click OK. And you get the same answer. Okay, so either way that you want to do it. Total spent from paycheck. Well, I've spent, remember we said your whole paycheck is two types of expenses, fixed and flexible, because you have to account for every penny that you earn. So total fixed expenses is in cell B14, so it's equal B14 plus what is the total of your other expenses? Flexibles, right? So that's B23 plus B23. That should equal my paycheck, which it does. And that is how you do monthly budgets. Let's take our December budget now, and this time the unknown is in a different spot. It's over here at the top. It's in groceries. So now how would I come up with that? Well, right now I know in cell C16 it says that I have $345 to spend in flexibles. And so far I've spent $80 in gas, $60 in miscellaneous, $45 in entertainment. So I'll click into the empty cell here and I'll type an equal sign. So I need to figure out how much I can spend on groceries. So I already know I only have $345 to work with because that's what's left to spend on flexibles. That's what I have to spend. So and that's sitting in cell C16. So equal C16, and then I'll subtract because I've already spent $80 in gasoline, so that'd be C21 minus C22, what I've already spent on miscellaneous, minus C23, what I've spent on entertainment, and hit enter. And then I have $160 to spend. How do I know that's correct? Well, all my flexibles better add up to $345. So let's click into cell C24 and I'll type equal. C equal, oops, let me go. If I'm going to add more than 3 or 4, equal, I'll come over here to sum and I'm going to add the first one, C20 colon. So the colon means to add all of ones through cell C23. So C23 and click OK. And I came up with 345. Is that what I had here? So that's how I know that I'm correct. Alright, this time in our budgets, our unknown is in at the top here, and we've put it here under the car payment. So how are you going to figure out how much you have left? Well, we know that you've got so many fixed expenses, and at this point we don't know what our total's supposed to be yet. So we need to count on this flexible expenses. We know that they're $345. So we have to eliminate those as well. So right now your paycheck is $1,280. So we'll take equal C4 minus all the fixed expenses you know. C7 minus C8 minus C9 minus C10 minus C12. Now, we also, so that just kind of gives us, you know, we've got our paycheck, we've got all these we've spent up to now, but then we also have to count what else we have left to spend money on. 345 we're going to spend on flexibles. So just like we spent money on rent already, phone, cable, we've also spent money on flexibles. So we need to include this too, minus C16. Press the enter key and it's $150. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add up all our fixed expenses again, equal sum C7 colon C12. Oops. And click OK. So now we've spent $935. So we'll just test this out. You had $935 in fixed, and you're saying you have $345 in flexible. We added up all of our fixed expenses. So here this formula is C20 through C23, and it equals 345. See, these two match. So that means that your 935 should fit because these two match. And to get your total spent from the paycheck, it would be equal. We spent fixed expenses, C14 plus C24, what you spent on total flexibles, because there's only two things you spend money on, fixed and flexible. And it equals $1,280, which is our paycheck. So that's how you know this $150 is correct.